welcome to my shop. Thanks to you all, I got me a little bit of play money from YouTube. Been getting a little bit of views on some of my videos, and well, I've taken some of that income and I have repurposed it into the Kubota. A couple things I ordered has come in. A couple I've been thinking about for more years than I care to admit, but I decided to go ahead and get it so it would make things a lot easier, and I'm curious about another thing. So stay tuned while I talk about the new bucket forks that I ordered through Amazon, and a kit that I ordered from BX23D where you'll be able to test the hydraulic pressure, which I think is getting lower on this 22-year-old machine. Stay tuned and let's get to it. BX23D kit came FedEx, a nice new gauge with a quick connect, a pack of 3 shims, 1mm, 2mm, 3mm, and some destructions, which was for a later model BX than what mine is, but it's still close enough to where I can use it. The specifications in it as far as what the PSI should be in factory spec, and how much PSI will increase or decrease via shim thickness is accurate. So these destructions, even though they seem to be for a later model, maybe the 50 series and up BXs, I believe it'll work fine for this 30 series, and possibly at the earlier 0 series, the 2200 and the BX22 TLB. So anyway, we're going to, I've been warming the tractor up, so I'm getting the hydraulics warmed up. We're going to connect this to one of the FEL, the front end loader's ports, and we'll test the pressure here in a minute. But I got one more thing to show you. All right. Straight from the Jungle website, the Jungle store, Amazon, is this set of bucket forks, and right there, proudly made in China. But hey, for the price I paid, oh well, we'll see. The carton's got a couple holes here, a couple holes there, a little damage there. Hopefully the hardware did not get damaged. I guess we will see. I don't think China is really known for its packaging. All right. Lay it down here. Let's see what we got. All right. Well, the first glance, I don't seem to see any damage. Of course, these being bucket forks, they ought not to be. They ought to be able to take some stuff. All right, some kind of paperwork. The instructions look like they're underneath that. Okay. So we'll continue to unbox this. There we go. Got him out. Little instructions. And we'll say it looks like it's well made. Welds look pretty good. We'll check it out. I'm going to turn my fan back on. It's really hot already.
This morning to a busted.
All right. I don't think it matters what side is what. a good plate on that. I'll get out of the way. You can see where I'm needing the wrench to loosen it. I'm going to guess the paint. There. I'll leave it about. Alright, seems pretty good there. There we go. I'm just guessing at the width now. Alright, got it installed. The installation instructions really kind of lack. So I just felt it out. Decided to do it off camera so while I was ciphering. But it's got a lot of lockdown points. The crossbar, which is adjustable, where you can either, I've got the forks almost as close in as they'll go. I guess they can go in another, looks like 3/4 of an inch. And then you can lock it, this bar, you can lock it with this. And you lock this bar to the forks with these two bolts here, okay? And then you've got your clamps here. And if you can make it out, you've got a lock bolt here. So once you run it down as tight as you can get it, then you can lock this bolt right there, and that'll hold it from coming loose. And that's the same on this side. Okay, so that's the forks. These forks, they look pretty good, well made. It's on there pretty stout. The brush and wood that I intend on moving with them is it's more than sufficient, I would say. And and it's less than $100 shipped. So that's the key. So what I'm going to do now is crank up my my tractor, get those hydraulics warmed up again, and we'll see what kind of pressure I'm getting to that front end loader. Anyway, one more thing. Crescent wrench is all you need. That's I say that because you'd need about 3 different sizes of wrenches in order to do it, and they're metric, of course, since it's from China. And that's SAE and metric. And there you go, and it'll go all the way over an inch. So that's what I would recommend for the tool to keep handy when you want to install or mount or dismount these forks. Anyway, here I'm wanting to show underneath. You can see there's like a little tit right there, for a lack of a better word, that acts as a spacer, because you see my cutting edge on my FEL kind of sticks down, oh, at least 1/4 inch. So that makes that gap up. And so when you clamp it down, it's tight there. Now these rollers here, I would think they would be further down. I don't know if that's going to be a problem since they're not making contact, but anyway, thought I'd show that. And also, it's got provisions for a chain, so you can chain it up. See, I've got bucket hooks here. Got a bucket hook there, and a bucket hook there. So I could actually run a chain to these those bucket hooks to make it even more stout. But to tell you the truth, this little BX, this LA, what is this? An LA 211, 210. You know, I have LA 210 down there. I believe the max I've lifted with this thing is about 500 pounds. And I don't think these forks will have a problem with that. Of course, I'm going to be testing out hydraulics. We'll see how that goes. Maybe I can get a little bit more. There is a product on the market that you can replace these 2 hydraulic rams here and increase your lifting power by 30 to 40%. Well, you know, I really don't use it that much like that, But that is something to keep in mind, that you can increase these older BX lifting capacities by just changing out some hydraulic cylinders. So anyway, same for hydraulic pressure. The newer machines are running that these old ones are, so I guess it would make sense that the main limiting factor in your lift on these front end loaders is possibly that ram right there and the one on the other side. All right, on to testing. I decided the best way to warm up the hydraulics is to get out here and work it a little bit. So let's get on down here and try something. And right there is the tallest sunflower I have ever grown. My garden's starting to play out a little bit, getting overgrown. Look at that sunflower. I measured it at 12 feet before the head started bowling it over more. And these other ones aren't too shabby. Look at that. Well, there's another one. There's one right there. Look at him. See him? Right there. That's 12 foot. I've never had sunflowers that tall. That corn's about ready. To high gear. Bring them up. I've been doing all this by hand and putting long branches inside these things to get it to transport. I had this tree here fall right here. I'm gonna lift him up. Let's see if I can do with him. Let me see. All right, we're gonna try to do this one-handed. Oh yeah, look at that. I don't want to bring him out too much. I can lift him up like that and cut him up. Let's see if we can get up here like that. All right. All right, he did good. We're just going to put him back. I may need two hands, I don't know. We'll see here in a minute. I had him in there better by hand. Let's see. Drop some more. I have there you go. See if I can push him this way. No, he ain't gonna do that way. Alright. But I already dig it already. But I need to push him out with some more. But anyway, let me get him back in there where I had him and I'll be back. All right, we've got the gauge hooked up. I've got a light shining on it. It may be too bright. If it is, I'll change it. Now I've hooked it to the top FEL, and I can't remember what function that does. So let's see. It's not raised. It's lower. Okay. Now I'm gonna lower it down, and let's see. We want 1778 to 1840 PSI. That'll be right around in there. So let's see, let's give it maximum RPM. So let's see. And I'm at about 1700. I can raise it up. Yep, that's it, 1700. It says don't leave it there too long. I'm going to take it up to 1850. It's got some math you can do to know how many shims to add. We're going to do it again just to be for sure. All right. and it's 17. Just a hair below 17. Alright, so I was right. I'm actually lower than the stated pressure. See, you can plug that into either port. You just got to figure out what position the FEL. In that case, we were reading the lowering pressure. All right. And let's see. We relieve the pressure. Like I was saying, on these older BXs, it's not the easiest to get to. And let me try to get the camera up here. It's the rear wheel, okay? Left side. Go back like that, and it is right, follow my screwdriver right there, okay? You got a wiring harness and some of my hillbilly engineered wiring for ROPS lights, and I had a radio back there hanging off the ROPS at one time. But anyway, that's the bolt, that's the bolt that holds the spring in the shims. And I hate to say it, but I guess I'm gonna pull this rear wheel off to do it. I hate to do it because this wheel is full with bead oil to make it heavier. So anyway, let's get ready to do it. Really dirty in there. A couple of tire wraps in the way. Let me get some light and we'll show you some stuff. Alright, if my mathing's correct, I'm 140 PSI low from the maximum that Kubota calls for on the on these BXs, which is 1840. Okay, now I know some people, they brag about on their newer machines going up to 2000 and above 2000, but as old as my machine is, I don't know if I want to tax it that much. So if I add a 3mm shim, which is the blue one here, it'll raise my pressure approximately 120 PSI, which will bring it up to the within spec and just below the maximum allotted pressure. Now the shim that's already in there, of course, it stays, and I just add that blue shim to add another 120 PSI. So that would make it actually it'll make it 820. And I believe, well, where's the, about 820. I think the maximum is 1840, and we'll be at 1820. So that'll keep me below, and I may just do that. Like I say, those are still the original hydraulic lines. Everything's original on here except for the muffler and, you know, the normal wear and tear stuff, and a few brackets I've had to re-weld. So I don't know if I want to overtax it as high as them guys. I know 120 PSI may do wonders for my my front end loader and my backhoe. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add a 3mm shim, which will raise my pressure approximately 120 PSI to around 1820. So let's do it. With the wheel off, you can see there's the bolt there that holds the shims and the spring, the relief spring, and it's a 22mm, which I have. It's actually the largest metric wrench I have. Now we may have it'll clear this hard line here, and this electric wiring there should push down enough, so hopefully it'll come out enough and not be interfered with. You know, this being a TLB model, it's got additional framing to stiffen it up, so hopefully that won't be a problem. So anyway, let's get to it. I'm not skillful enough to hold you up there closer. Hopefully this is close enough. We'll see how tight this is. This has never been out. And it really wasn't that tight. They say it will not lose a whole lot of hydraulic fluid, so we'll see. Still a tight fit. There's no way I could have done this with the wheel on. Not yet. Long. Wiring harness is in the way. Got him. Alright, there he is. Alright. He's dripping some hydraulic fluid. Let's get a rag underneath there, soak it up. Alright, we're going to pull the spring out. And there's I don't know that I see a spring in there. Let me get a light and look. I'll be right back. Alright, there may be a shim in there. I don't know if you can see it, and if it's flat, it's not. I tried to tap it out. It's not coming out. I really don't need it to come out. So what I'm going to do is add that blue shim out of this pack here, which is 100, well, should add, it's 3 millimeter. It should add 120 more PSI. It's amazing. It's not very thick at all. We drop him in there, and he lays flat. I don't know if you can see him in there, the blue one. See him? All right. He's laying flat. Put the spring back in the way it come out. There we go. Tell you what I'm going to do, though. I'm going to clean them threads up a little bit. All right. Clean everything up. Like I say, that hadn't been off in 22 years. Or however long it's been since they installed it. All right. All right. Amazing. There's a little tiny O-ring right there. All right. Let's be careful with him. All right. I'm talking about a little skinny little O-ring right there. You see him? That's what seals him right there. That and the threads, I guess. All right, we're ready to put him back in. I don't know if I even record when I put the bolt back in, but I had to fish him around and get him up there, and I hand tightened him to the wrist torque wrench setting of what it took to break it loose. So he seems to be up as far. And I blew it off some so I can tell if it's leaking any. All right. So, time to start it up. Let's test to see what we got. Here we go. This is idle. Oh. I'm surprised to see that much at idle. Let's do it again. Not quite 1800. All right, let's give it some RPM. 1850. All right. Let's see if we're leaking. PSI, not 120. But that's all right. 1850, that's right at the edge. I can live with that. We don't seem to be leaking. I'm gonna run it a little bit to make sure, because it's gonna be a pain to put that wheel back on. But all right. All right, let's see how the front end loader operates. At idle. That's about the same, no difference. All right, go to PTO power, PTO RPM. Definitely fast. Well, let's see how my mower deck rides. At idle, it was real slow. It's still slow. A little bit RPM. Faster. I think I just busted my light. Oh well. I just saw a spark. I think it was my light. Oh well. Dummy me. Alright. Let's get this thing put back together. Alright. Back when I was younger and full of spit and vinegar, I've got a set of turf tires over there. I would actually, in the summer, I'd change all these out to turf tires. And come late fall, I'd change them over to my bars. I did that for years. I don't do that no more. So, there he is. Success. All right, we're going to take them off. I'm not going to be working them for a while. Let's see. I'll leave that center bar done. I think all I need to do is break loose the two lock nuts, untwirl them, and I can take them off and together. So let's see. Okay. Oh yeah. I'll back him off quite a bit. I think they weigh, I can't remember, I'll have to look it up. They may weigh 60 pounds maybe. let's see what we got. Alright, comes off pretty easy. I could store them that way. Very good. Alright, just need to find a place to store them. Alright, I got a little bit done today. I've added a few things to this old Kubota BX23D 2004 model. And well, those forks, I got them off of Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description. And they seem to, they do weigh 61 pounds according to their website, and they feel that when I moved them. And so being a Prime member, I got them free shipping in a week, and they cost well, I had some discounts, but according to the website, it's about 85 bucks for that. So if you have an older or even a newer BX or even a B model, and you want some cheap, inexpensive bucket forks to move some wood around or some other stuff, maybe even some pallets of stuff, well, that's a pretty good deal. And the like I said, I'll put a link in the description. The tester kit and the tester and shim kit for the pressure regulator on the BX, I got that from BX Expanded. They've been around quite a while. I'll put out, well, they're not a sponsor. I don't have a link to them, but I'll have their name spelled out somewhere around here so you can see. You just go to the BXExpanded.com, and they've got all kinds of products for your subcontract tractors. Primarily Kubota, but he ventures out into all the brands. A lot of this stuff will work on other brands. So anyway, and that kit was actually more than what I wanted to spend, but you can go out and put the stuff together, and you can make you some shims out of washers and do it a whole lot cheaper than that. But well, you know, if you want less hassle, just get the kit with the gauge and everything all together ready to go, well, then that's the way to go. So anyway, well, looks like I was able to increase my hydraulic pressure by 150 PSI. I'm not going to work it right now. I've got some other stuff I got to do, but I can tell it's faster. Now, will it translate to more power? Well, we'll see. Otherwise, we're going to park this outside, bring the bed in, and do a little work to it. We're going to get the truck situated where we can take him out for a cruise too. So anyway, hope everything's going good with you and yours. Everything's going great here. Can't complain. Won't do me no good to complain anyway. Just carry on and take care of that business. Have a good one, and I hope to see you around on the next one. See.
My joy, my fight.